Yes, Sako Penny Richard Kumadoe and Indian Common a security expert and consultant. Uncle Richard Anope Yamau, good morning.
Ita me that say yanko,
Bibi Aboko, yeah.
yanko.
Yansha, what is really happening at Nkwanta?
Oh, it has always been there. A
Hmm.
banner call, a banner call. It's about land settlement. It's about chieftaincy. It's about land ownership. It's about the usual thing we suffered in this country right from the days of independence.
Hmm.
Boko has not been resolved permanently. We so a thorn in the flesh of national government.
Wow.
Best said to the extent that the dialogue at the place has broken down.
Hmm.
Community leaders are not making sure that they are be able to restore peace. There should be a new way of resolving this conflict, and there should be a new form of dialogue. And this dialogue will have to be broad and extensive. Even if it means we need to involve the Ashanti mediation team and make resources available for them to resolve these things. They will need to do it as quickly as possible because it's claiming lives and it's destroying property. About a year, one of too many times. Now, on the part of security,
Mm-hmm.
Security failure doesn't mean intelligence failure.
Okay.
Megidi say you're picking intelligence, but probably not the early warning signs, Nina. I thought you What they will need to do is to have a constant monitoring post. Now, equip to ensure that they are able to deal with the SSCs that come with many of these things we are looking at. On the part of politics, because politics now dividing Crawford already. Politics is very divisive. Politics divides people along political lines. And see, the politicians on the ground cannot be very effective. But national leadership and as a national government and as a national politics can get in there as quickly as possible and make sure that resolve it. Now we bring life back to Nkwanta South. It's becoming a thorn in our flesh.
What is the dynamics of a young Nkwanta situation? No, government in, government out, we are still unable to resolve it. People are still dying, and there's renewed tensions. Nipa Afumashro just this weekend.
We have not been frank enough with ourselves.
Okay.
We have not been bold enough to punish crime. Meaning, say a crime, and
Of course, yeah.
why have we not arrested the criminals and prosecute them
Mm.
to serve as a deterrent to other people? As a nation, we fail because of the exigencies of politics.
Mm.
So that is one of our challenges. From independence, issues about chieftaincy and land ownership and traditional issues. But two people cannot be a chief over one land.
No.
It means somebody is lying.
Mm.
Why have we not had the boldness to confront it? And there are places where there are chieftaincy issues. They don't kill themselves. So why is it that these places people are taking guns and kill themselves? Where did they get a gun from? Who are the manufacturers of these guns? Are they locally manufactured guns? And answer, they bought it from abroad. Who are the people behind? We could have resolved it, but it's the exigencies of politics and we have not been frank enough. Now, people who speak the truth are very few. So it creates all manner of complex situations for us. But to the extent that the Ashanti mediation thing has proven to be more credible. And now you're making resources available for them so that they can resolve it for us as quickly as possible.
Of course, but you raised serious issue about people wielding arms and asking questions. If you hear from, is it that the proliferation of arms now be Ghana because the little thing people are pulling a gun, and you ask yourself where do they get it from? Uncle Umadu, and you very and you whom Ghana say, baby, I'll be Fabia and you. How do we deal with this?
Definitely. I am major concern. Major concern. I mean, she said, Minya Adambo now, you're the head of Small Arms Commission. From July going, start your public education. And this is to me, then he will need the president to make a case for him.
Okay.
Then, thirdly, as a nation, you have a national strategy to retrieve guns from the system. But I had an understanding that some guns have been seized on their way to Nkwanta South, as it
Wow.
has always been the case. And yebebo law enforcement for Omaba so say Omutimi yes again. But me know yeah, say it's becoming a major issue, Maya.
Mm.
And the earlier we do something about it, the better. Your Krofobu or Kromha, importation of arms is their major business.
Mm.
And the due diligence in that aspect is very key.
Mm.
Then we have the locally manufactured
Once,
groups. You know.
Mm.
It should be a case that they are coordinated and monitored. Then registration of guns and arms in this country at the police headquarters and also within the police setup. No. Follow up on those who own guns and those who want to register their guns and renewal procedure. No. It has to be exercised circumspectly. Then again, background checks of those who own guns is something I don't think we do it so properly. We are not saying people shouldn't own a gun, but who are these people who own the gun? Yeah, background checks from Juana. Have they passed the background checks? And have we given them the license to own a gun? So yeah, yes, sir, and you own a gun, there is an illegal possession of an arm. And our laws frown on that. So back again, no punishable of offenses will always rationalize bad behavior and promote antisocial tendencies in society. As a nation, these are the laws of the land that deals with it. Naya politics. Other than that, one day it can create many more problems for us.
Interesting. Major Moako, but share the issue happening in a year Togo. Na share what we can do as a nation in terms of air border security near there. And chair na and Burkina Faso eba insurgents in Sankrofi. Togo Diana, how should we handle it as a nation?
Our eastern border has always been a major source of concern, even before independence and just after independence up to today. It's not just the structure of the border from Aplau to Pusiga area there, but the size of the border and activities in and out of the border. It has always been a major concern. Government have not issued official statement from government communication and Ministry of Interior, but Mijidi Pass said, Onua security assurance and they are monitoring it so keenly, and they will make sure Ghana is protected and we are safe. When it comes to inflow, others to go to Benin, others to come to Ghana, probably almost families were and as a business partnerships and many of those ones. When you to say Ukraine there now, Obeka said you are lifting your people from Togo.
Okay.
But they can always cross the border anyway. There be money afternoon, evening for business and for relations and for farming activities. But to the extent that our next door neighbor is in trouble, insecurity and safety breaches a major concern, Maya. I am very hopeful and I am very so much confident that the managers of our security will work around the clock and ensure national sovereignty is achieved and security assurances are provided for the people along the borderline and Ghanaians as a whole.
Issues like this, Timemufon advise Ben Yadema Omo, and then especially, worried, of course, but you're worried to what extent NSA echo.
You don't want your neighbors to be fighting. When they are fighting, your neighbor's house is on fire. You need to look for water. It can trigger to our country. There could be influx of people. It may create economic trouble for people who live along the border, who have to host a whole number of people they are not prepared for. And people could also use other places as sources of creating problems. And see, you always want your neighbors, at least your close-door neighbors, to have peace. And see that OSHA, as part of national sovereignty and geopolitics, President Mahama visited almost all our neighbors.
Yes.
Our neighboring countries. And he deliberately brought them to his inauguration just to foster the unity, the unit we needed, and the unity and the dialogues and the communications and many of those ones. And so when your neighbor is at war with themselves, it creates some level of anxiety because you cannot really predict what is going to happen next. But that is why border security is important. And I'm very aware and I'm very confident that security they will do what is right and make sure that we have security compliance and national sovereignty is achieved at all times.
Uncle Kumadoe yemfa ndase mfama onda no pay.
Thank you.
Enti Richard Kumadoe na no pay na di nkomo security consultant na no pay na di nkomo on two issues Nkwanta South clashes no any Togo the issue of no the possible spillover and how I say Ghana yetime handle the issue.